ask you a question. If you ever need any advice on how to hand out some back shots, would you ever go to a guy that doesn't hand out any back shots? Today we're going to talk about Abba from Abba and Preach, because this guy gets no I can see it from a mile away. I know these guys. I know how they behave. I know how they talk. These guys get no sort of ass, no sort of play. But then they go on the internet and they talk like they got something to say. Keep in mind, Abba is a very successful man. Abba is a multimillionaire, big-time YouTuber. But even being a successful man with millions of dollars does not guarantee you're going to be handing out back shots to all sorts of women. And you can just tell by the way these people speak. I can spot these people from a mile away. By the way they look, by the way they move. Now, Abba's one of these guys who's a slimy individual when it comes to women. Anytime he's had a sexual encounter with a woman, it's never been because of a burning desire she's ever had for him. It's been him with his sleazy salesman tactics. I mean, just look at the guy. Look at Abba. Take a good look at Abba. By the way, this is a guy that has sleep apnea. This is a guy that sleeps with a machine up his nose because he can't breathe properly because he's fat. Abba is a fat man. And by the way, he's shaped like a pear. So what do sleazy, slimy guys like Abba do in order to get some cheeks? Well, they do things like they join a dance club. They join a dance club because they know, women are going to be forced to dance with me now. They can't say no. We're going to get partnered up in the dance school, and they better dance with me. Otherwise, I'll cancel my membership. I pay good money for the school. You know, a long time ago, before everybody was selling courses, before TikTok, before people were making videos on YouTube, guys were going on websites. I mean, you had to scroll through the entire internet to find these websites. Websites that gave you advice on how to get some women. And every time you went on these websites, it's always the same advice. Number one advice, join a dance club. Start taking salsa lessons. If you learn how to dance salsa with hot, spicy Latina women, they'll get aroused because dancing is a very sexual thing. And I can imagine Abba. Abba with that look he gets on his face. You know the look I'm talking about. The look of an apex predator from Africa. Abba was the African lion with yellow Michael Jordan eyes. And those poor women in those dance studios were little baby gazelles. By the way, these slimy guys then used the dancing excuse to get around women, to touch women, fondle women. And you can get away with anything, and if she says something, you just say, hey, this is just Dirty Dancing Havana Nights, like my nigga Patrick Swayze. Remember Patrick Swayze in the movie Dirty Dancing Havana Nights? That's all we're doing. This is all innocent stuff we're doing here. But inside of Abba, there is a demon. It is a demon of sex, and it is a demon that is very, very horny. And let's not forget, this demon came on full display when he stabbed one of his best friends, Destiny, right in the back. Completely humiliated Destiny. And by the way, this was the catalyst for him and his wife Melina's divorce. People don't talk about this very often. But Abba, with his disgusting, predatory, sexual deviant demon inside of him, destroyed a home. Destroyed a happy marriage. You know, before this humiliation ritual that he forced Destiny to be a part of, Destiny and Melina were parading each other around. They were the happiest couple. They had an open marriage. Everything was great. Everybody was happy. Destiny and Melina had it all figured out. Yes, Destiny was able to go on Grindr.com. By the way, Grindr.com is a website where guys meet each other for devious acts. I mean, we're talking about hardcore stuff here, folks. And Destiny, popular streamer Destiny, was a frequent visitor of Grindr.com while being married to Melina. And Melina was doing all sorts of filth out there. But this was all okay because at the ending of the night, they would come together to their bed, to their home, and cuddle in bed together. These people had an arrangement. And that arrangement was ruined because Abba was invited to the home of these people by Destiny and Melina. Little did Destiny know the sort of demon that he had on his hands that day. Destiny, believe it or not, Destiny's a good guy. You may see Destiny being an asshole on the internet, you know, being a contrarian and arguing with everybody. But Destiny's a good guy deep down inside, and I like Destiny. I don't watch Destiny anymore because I don't like to watch a nigga argue on the internet. I got better things to do. You see, guys like me, we're too busy driving around in our E-Class Mercedes with a tight black shirt flexing our muscles trying to get fat girls. So we don't have time to be listening to political commentary on the internet. We're blasting black people music, rap music. But I like Destiny, but what Abba did to Destiny is unforgivable. What he did to that man and his marriage is disgusting, it's unforgivable, and the entire internet as a collective should come together and never allow this mouth breather. Because, by the way, if you pay close attention, Abba is a mouth breather as well. You know, these are just all things that I pick up. These are all things that tell me this guy gets no girls. No girl wants to be with the guy who's a mouth breather. No woman wants to be with a guy that snores at night. According to Abba, he would snore so loud at night that he'd start choking and wake up on the brink of death every single night. Multiple times, by the way. This is what happens with people that have sleep apnea. These are fat people we're talking about here. And let's not forget, no woman ever wants to be with a guy that's shaped like a pear. These are just things that we do know. I know I'm going off on a tangent, but these are points that have to be made. So this slimeball was invited by a good guy named Destiny, one of the biggest YouTubers on the planet. He was invited to his home, but once he got around that Aryan princess, Melina, Destiny's ex-wife, that's when things went south, and they went south very fast. You see, guys like Abba, they can't control themselves around white women. They can't control themselves. You know, the crystal blue eyes, that beautiful blonde hair, the smell of an Aryan woman, a white woman. I get it. You know, I'm a minority myself. I understand him. But I have some self-control around these people. Not Abba. Not Abba. Abba, what Abba did while Destiny was live to 50,000 people, he said, hey, Melina, aren't you a dancer? I heard you were a dancer. You want to do some dirty dancing Havana Nights like Patrick Swayze? That African apex predator demon of sex came out of him at that moment. And Melina said, no. You know, I have some respect for my husband, Destiny, and our home. I'm not interested in dancing with you, mister. But as we know, Abba, who sharpened his tactics, his manipulative tactics in these dance studios for all these years, knows how to get these women to dance. And he did it with Melina. He forced her. He forced Melina to dance with him. Go look at it. I'm not making this stuff up, folks. Go look at the videos out there for you to see. This thing went completely viral. Whenever Destiny does something and it gets people upset, they bring up the same video. This video not only destroyed Destiny's marriage, broke his home. This video is a weapon used against Destiny for the rest of his career. You think Abba cared? You think Abba gave a shit about this? What this was going to do to Destiny's career? He didn't give a shit. He was horny at the moment. He wanted to get next to Melina and sniff her Aryan, Swedish skin. He wanted to touch that porcelain white skin and see how does it feel to be around a white woman from Sweden. I mean, folks, this is just complete lunacy we're talking about here with this guy, Abba. He has no self-control. And by the way, I was watching a video of Abba in Preach. They were reacting to this girl that was talking about how she doesn't like any nice guys at all. I mean, just watch the footage.
That guy can do.
I'm not really into nice guys because I like boys, so I can't really think of anything nice that they can do.
My lucky day, hell yeah. I'm just joking. All right, and what's the worst thing a guy can do?
I guess be nice.
Be nice.
Because sometimes if you're too nice, it gives like, it's like the ick.
Really?
You know? Because it's like, why are you so nice?
Do you like when guys like degrade you type shit? Is that what you like?
Not degrade me, but like, you know. Because I feel like if a guy is nice, that means he gets no girls, and that's like a turn off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But then I'm on social media like, I want a guy that gets no bitches, but like, that's just not true, so.
Okay.
I like the fact that she's honest about it. I like the fact that she's honest.
Location, Miami, Florida.
Yo.
So you heard what she said. This is how women feel. This is how attractive women act. You don't like it, too bad. Get with the fat girls, I've been telling you now for months. Get with the fat girls like me. But this is how attractive women feel. So what does Abba have to say about this?
I like the fact that she's honest about it. I like the fact that she's honest.
Location, Miami, Florida.
Yo.
I saw everyone getting mad about it. I will never for the life of me understand why people watch videos in these like big ass metropolitan areas like Miami or some shit, and then be like, oh my god, women like
location Miami, Florida. What do you mean Miami, Florida? What, are women different in Miami, Florida than Houston, Texas? Is a woman's nature different from Miami, Florida to Pensacola, Florida? Women want to get with the scumbag that looks good, that walks around with a tight black t-shirt, showing off, flexing his muscles. Women want to be with the guy that takes 48 hours to respond to a text. Women want to get with a guy that cancels last minute. Women want to get with a guy that farts inside of a car, locks all the windows so he's sure she doesn't get any fresh air. By the way, if you look at Preach, Preach is a different guy. Preach is a guy that's had women genuinely want to have sex with him just because he's Preach. Preach is a smooth type of guy, and Preach got a bubble butt. Preach got a fatty. Preach got a fatty, and it's a muscular fatty. So he has an athletic build, a stocky little athletic build that women enjoy and love. So this guy Preach has been around the block with these women. So he understands how these women think, how they act, because he hasn't had to resort to little slimy salesman tactics to sleep with these women like his buddy Abba. So listen to what he says about this.
metropolitan areas like Miami or some shit, and then be like, oh my god, women like.
But also, when I was younger, girls were thinking like that. As I grew older, I don't hear that speech when they're older as much. Not as much. But it's maybe also an age thing.
Maybe it's an age thing. Maybe it's like, you know, you magnify some comments that you hear that are really inflammatory from a few people. But how common even was it when you were really younger? How common?
It was very common.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it was very common. You know, it's very common for guys like me that actually get around women. You see, Abba, you weren't around women. You weren't getting any hoes because you were looking like this. You were looking like this, so the women ignored you. You weren't having these conversations with these females. You wouldn't know. Yeah, but how common was it? Actually, it was very common. All the girls wanted to be with the bad boy, Abba. They wanted to be with the bad boy who was very nonchalant, who didn't give a shit about them. Just like me. Look at the way Preach acts. Preach walks around with his bubble butt, seducing all the women with his dance moves. And so, since he has so many women genuinely attracted to him sexually, he's very nonchalant about it. He doesn't care. I don't care. Look at the way he talks. Look at the way he carries himself. This is a guy who lays the pipe. And by the way, you know, Preach made his point, and this guy Abba had to go back on his argument. He had to take his argument back because he knew he was wrong. See, for a second there, he forgot. Wait, in high school, I was kind of a nerd. I didn't get any cheeks at all. You're right, you know. But as they get older, you know, as they go into the late 30s and 40s, they don't think this way anymore. Of course they don't. They're washed up and they got blown out puppies. Of course they don't think that way anymore. Hello? Everybody knows that. Yeah, you've never heard of this because you've never had to do anything like this because you never talk to women. You sneak and finagle your way into being around women like you did with Melina, Destiny's ex-wife.
Saying like, if a really attractive guy came by and like got these girls flowers and was like, hey, I'd like to take you out. Of course they're gonna love that shit.
Yep.
There's not a single woman on this planet who will love that shit. Whenever these people say this nice stuff, they're essentially saying like,
yeah, how does he look? How does he look? How does the guy with the nice guy game, how does he look? If a guy like you came with the nice guy game, he's automatically a creep. If Abba came with flowers and Abba came with a box of chocolates, we're calling the cops on this guy. You can have nice guy game, not you, Abba. Not you. You're ugly. If you got nice arms, if you got abs, you walk around with a tight black t-shirt, you got a nice haircut, you smell good, you got a full beard, and you're pushing around a used Mercedes, you can get away with being the nice guy. Because she knows, well, I mean, he doesn't have to be nice, but he's being nice anyways. This is all amazing. A guy like you comes around. Sloppy love handles. I can see the tits through your shirt. If I can see your jugs through your shirt, imagine a woman who's 10 times, 20 times more observant than a man. So, you know, this guy Abba, he just gives me the heebie-jeebies. This guy Abba gives me a bad case of the heebie-jeebies, and I don't like it. I put this guy Abba in the same category as I do Moist Critical, in the same category as I do Asmongold. These guys are up to no good. Folks, listen, I wrote a book called Fat, Ugly, and Poor. My book, Fat, Ugly, and Poor, will guarantee you will never go around this earth looking like Abba from Abba and Preach. My book, Fat, Ugly, and Poor, could have changed Abba's life, but he's too proud to read a book like mine. He's too proud. He wants to continue living the way he's living, being a mouth breather and walking around with love handles and forcing women to dance with him. But he's never going to achieve genuine happiness. People like this are never happy. Believe me, they can have millions of dollars, they'll never be happy. Click the link below, go to my Patreon, and give me $5! Give me $5 and get my book, Fat, Ugly, and Poor. It'll change your life like it changed mine.